This morning we're learning about rock climbing in Upper Michigan. Joining us right now is David Hixenbaugh at Downwind Sports in Marquette. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
So my first question is, we're coming up on September. Is September a good time to do rock climbing?
September is definitely the prime time to do a little bit of rock climbing up here in the UP. Weather's generally really nice, the colors start being beautiful, the bugs start going away, so it's just perfect out there in the fall.
What should beginners consider before they head out and try it?
So definitely, as a beginner, it can be a little bit intimidating getting into the sport of rock climbing. So some things to consider are what types of gear you need. Basically, I have a little layout here, some pretty basic stuff that you would need. Starting out, a pair of shoes with nice sticky rubber on the bottom. It's going to be a huge help for you climbing, give you a ton of confidence out there. And a chalk bag is the super basic setup to get going. That'll get you out there bouldering, playing around, get your hands on the rock a little bit. But obviously, there's a ton of things to learn about climbing. Finding a mentor is a great way to go. Also, it's a great community. Lots of climbers all join together and it's basically a lifestyle. You get so in love with the sport that it's something that you start to think about night and day, if you're one of the crazy ones like me anyhow. So.
How does the sport of rock climbing, to get started, how does that kind of compare to other sports price-wise? Is it expensive or relatively inexpensive or in the middle?
Well, I would say it's, to start out bouldering, it's relatively inexpensive. But it definitely gets more gear intensive the more that you get into the sport, especially once you start to sort of get into the larger rope climbs and traditional style climbing, where you might need something like these spring-loaded camming devices that I have over here. Something like this, you get a whole rack of these so you can safely protect yourself on climbs that don't have any bolts installed in the wall. That's going to be a lot more expensive to get going, but it's pretty affordable to just get a chalk bag, a pair of shoes, but it's all sort of how into the sport you are and how far you want to take it, because you can go as far as your dreams are. So,
is indoor experience pretty helpful for just to kind of get into it? I know there's some opportunities around for indoor climbing.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting indoors is a great way to do it. Check out the wall at the Peef. It's a awesome opportunity. So it's actually how I started, was indoors. Basically gets you to fall in love with the movements of rock climbing, the problem solving that's involved there, and get you fired up and stoked to go outside. And then from there, you can definitely reach out to our guide service here through the Michigan Ice Fest guides. You can go to michiganicefest.com and look up everything you need to know on there about booking both rock and ice climbing trips. It's a great opportunity to start inside, though. It's a little bit less intimidating for some people, and definitely help you meet others in the climbing community up here in the UP. So I'd say that's a fantastic place to start. For those that are more serious about it or could see themselves wanting to really get into it and eventually get out and start doing it themselves, then that's when I'd recommend coming Downwind Sports, see us, and go on a guided trip.
Okay, David, thanks so much for joining us. We'll check in with you again next half hour. We're learning more about rock climbing in Upper Michigan this morning. Joining us again is David Hixenbaugh at Downwind Sports in Marquette. Good morning again, David.
Good morning, Andrew.
First, I want to ask about your experience and how you got involved in the sport.
Definitely. For me, I actually started at an indoor rock climbing wall, and just one of my friends told me it'd be something he thought I would like, so went down, checked it out. A little bit intimidated at first, didn't know what to think. Started climbing, and right away I just fell in love with that movement and the problem-solving aspect about it, and just also the physical exertion involved. It felt good to get out there, get my heart pumping, get the adrenaline going a little bit. Yeah, and then from there, just slowly worked my way into climbing outdoors, and luckily had a really good mentor to teach me all the right ways to do things, so it's a very cool process.
Okay, so now tell us about the popularity of the sport in Upper Michigan. Have you seen it increase?
Definitely. Seems like nowadays more and more people are getting interested in the sport. For a relatively small population here, there's a pretty good group of climbers that are all well connected and excited about the sport. So I've seen a lot of growth, and even in sort of the mainstream, it's starting to become a little bit more popular. It's definitely blowing up a little bit, and you see gyms popping up all over the place as well. It's very little bit tough to get involved in the sport when you don't know what's going on, but it's something where starting in the gym is a great opportunity. Just go test the waters a little bit, dip your toes in, see what it's all about, and then from there on, you can definitely go as far as you want, dream big, and take what you learn here in the UP and go out to the greater mountain ranges for sure.
Okay, my last question. I know there's some guides around, people that can kind of give you some beginning tips, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We have a guide service through the Michigan Ice Fest guides. So you could go to our website, michiganicefest.com, and then look up all the information about the guide service on there. That way you could, even as a complete beginner with no experience, you could come out and we can get you started and basically tailor the experience for whatever you're looking for. Start you out. If you just want to go out, have a great time, get out in nature and have a blast climbing, we can do that. Also, we love to give people instruction and get them taught up so they can get out and enjoy the sport themselves. So that's something that I personally love, is to spread the knowledge about climbing. I want to get people out there doing it, enjoying it, and it really improved my life and gave me new direction, and kind of found that sense of community with other climbers. So I like to try and help other people find that same sense of enjoyment with it.
David, thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the fall.